So, part two. Because of how I was raised, I've had a hard time. I haven't had a hard time. I've had a challenging time over the last 3 decades, sorting through feelings and understanding myself. So, oracle cards and counseling between the two have helped me a lot, sorting through all of my proverbial mess, and or what I like to refer to as the compartmentalized, tangled Christmas lights that I have put away in the back of my mind. And slowly over time, I've been unboxing them, feeling my feelings and releasing them, and feeling a lot better in my life. So part two, I had some other cards that came out besides like spirit connecting to the last, what I was feeling at the time, connected to the story I just told. What else do I need to know about this wound that I'm feeling that I can't put words to? And so I'm very thankful that Spirit helped me with these cards. And so from the soul wound deck that I don't touch on very much because it's some deep diving on shadow work, which I'm forever thankful for. But this says the wound of the kindness curse, which I have been told I'm so nice my whole life. Which I've found is a compliment, but that has also been a double-edged sword for me because I have allowed people to take advantage of me in my time and my effort and my everything, financially, relationally, on all spectrums, and I allowed that subconsciously because I wanted to. I was seeking fulfillment of love from others because I didn't feel like I received that from my mother. So it's a mother wound that I've been working through, or like a root chakra wound, for the last handful of decades, but specifically over the last 3 years, which I'm very thankful for. Because sometimes parts of our life story can be a part of somebody else's survival guide. But the kindness curse, and this picture is this person who has their arms tied up with a red string. And if you know anything about the story of the red string of fate, look it up. It's interesting if you don't know about it. But this is yarn, and so it's like it reminds me of the card in the tarot deck where the person's tied up, but it's like loose. It's like string, and they can easily like break free. So it's an opportunity of like for me where I can unbind myself from this and no longer live in that story or in that pattern of behavior moving forward. And then I'll be able to validate myself and give myself my own love and affection and support and validation that I have very rarely received from my own parental space, specifically from my mother. And I'm not blaming her, and I'm not a victim, and I'm not doing any of that. It's very much just self-realization in my own space. But this says, taught that love that must be earned with pain. This wound arises when care, affection, or approval came with strings attached. You learned that to be loved, you had to sacrifice, suffer, or shapeshift. It can leave you overgiving, afraid of ease, entangled in the belief that love must always cost you something. And that was a lie that I learned at home in my formative years between birth and like age 12, and carried with me for a very long time. That's not what love is. That's hurt people. That's generational trauma being handed down. Now, what I do with that moving forward is I need to untangle myself from that belief system, but also I'm very much that wound ends with me. My children won't know the pain that I've felt, won't know the disconnect, won't won't feel that my love is conditional based on what they can do for me or what they can do in life, or they will always know that they are good enough. They will always know that they're so much more than I could ever be. I am not their ceiling, I am their floor, and they can only jump higher than I could ever go. So yeah, generational trauma breaker. But it says on the spirit messages, inner strength, don't lose yourself in things you can't change. Focus on the things you can change, attitude, mindset, and energy. You've got everything you need. which I was so very thankful to see and feel. I was like, yeah. We can't change our stories, but we can actually edit how we let them make us feel a certain way. I have grown so much because of my experiences, and I'm so thankful for them, even when I felt like I was walking through fire and the floor was bottoming out from underneath me, and I felt desperate and hopeless and fearful and overwhelmed and alone. Because I came out of that so much stronger and resilient, and I'm great at problem solving and critical thinking, and I'm fantastic in crisis, specifically just other people's crises or my own. It's because I've been through my own version of hell, and that if I can do that, I can do anything. So, yeah, my story doesn't define me, I define me. And I am the hero of my own story. Fulfillment. You don't need anyone else's approval to pursue and fulfill your purpose. Embrace your unique journey and trust that it's leading you where you need to go. Yeah. And usually it's to help other people for me, and to help them feel not so alone. And this is no debate. You don't need to do anything to be more worthy. You are valuable regardless of your circumstances. You always have been and always will be. It's not up for debate. I love spirit messages like this. It's like you can't argue your existence, or the fact like you don't feel worthy of your existence. You can't argue with the universe or God, because if you weren't worthy, you wouldn't be here. Like you wouldn't exist at all. And so it's knowing that unconditional love of our Creator. And just knowing that no matter the circumstances or what we've been through or we're going through or how we present, or like, let the little children come. Like, we are the children. Like, that's what they said it's what he said in the Bible. Let the little children come just as they are. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you've been through. I love you no matter what. Yeah. Rejuvenate yourself. Know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself. You have full permission to rest and say no. I would overgive to the extent of exhaustion and depletion, and I don't do that anymore. Because it's not for my greatest and highest good. And honestly, because I've gone above and beyond for so many people in my life, and they haven't moved. They've moved like tiny footsteps in my own space. And so it's like, no. And know when to invest time and energy into people's spaces, and it's okay to say no. And if they judge you for that, that's on them. That's not about you at all, and it's a projection. And yeah. And through this generational trauma, cycle breaking stuff, I asked Spirit from the love notes from the universe what messages I needed from my Creator, my spirit guides, my family members, ancestors. It says, "You glow, we beam. Thanks. In case anyone should ask, your heart isn't so large because of your wings. It's your wings that are so large because of your heart." Sometimes loving so much can be pretty heavy. Thanks for all you shared, the universe. P.S. is just one of those nutty body algorithm things. So just know that whatever you do on this planet to make somebody's life a little bit easier, a little, their cross a little bit lighter to bear, their story a little to feel like they're not so alone, that might just be your purpose. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, just you being yourself is enough. Always has been, always will be, no debate. I love you. You take care of yourself. You're so very important to this entire universe. Blessed be.